Noah Reed had been obsessed with space since he was a kid. Working at SpaceX was supposed to be a dream come true, but things weren't going as planned. Back in college, he used to think, if I get a job at SpaceX, I'll be part of something huge every single day. But now that dream felt like a weight on his shoulders. He had been at SpaceX for 3 years, and the project he was leading had already failed 3 times. Today was another test day. They were running a new motor component on the Falcon rocket, something Noah had spent months working on. But then, after just 20 seconds, the engine exploded. Silence filled the room. The data on the screens was useless. Noah's team exchanged nervous glances. One of the lead engineers sighed and muttered, "Fixing this is going to take at least 3 months." Noah stared at the ground, frustration boiling inside him. Months of work, gone in seconds. This was it, the final straw. How much longer could he keep doing this? Maybe SpaceX wasn't the right place for him. He had made up his mind. He was going to quit. But just as he was about to walk away, the door on the far side of the room swung open. And standing there, eyes locked on Noah, was Elon Musk. Noah froze. Elon Musk's eyes were locked on him, unreadable. The entire team went silent. No one could predict how Musk would react to a failed test. Elon scanned the room, glanced at the data, then walked over to the scorched engine component. Finally, he looked up and asked Noah directly, "Why did this test fail?" Noah felt his throat go dry. He had no choice but to explain. There was a slight miscalculation in the pressure balance, he started. It caused instability in the fuel flow, which led to overheating and engine failure. Elon nodded. He wasn't yelling, wasn't even angry. He just stood there thinking. And then to everyone's shock, he asked, "Okay, so when's the next test?" The engineers looked at each other, confused. One of the lead engineers spoke up. "It'll take at least 3 months to fix this issue." But Elon wasn't satisfied. 3 months is too long, he said. "Can we try again in 2 weeks? Noah's eyes widened. 2 weeks, that's impossible, he thought. But Elon, as if reading his mind, smirked slightly and said, "If we can't do this, how the hell are we going to get to Mars?" Noah froze. Those words echoed in his head. Then Elon turned directly to him and asked, "If failure scares you this much, why are you even here?" Noah's entire world flipped upside down. Elon Musk's words kept echoing in Noah's mind. "If failure scares you this much, why are you even here?" Was it really the fear of failure that held him back? Noah had spent his whole life chasing perfection. In college, he'd worked tirelessly to make every project flawless. He hated making mistakes. But now, he was working at SpaceX, a place where failure wasn't just common, it was necessary, because this was a company doing things no one else had ever done. That evening, as Noah left work, his thoughts were all over the place. He was still considering quitting, but it didn't feel like such a clear decision anymore. As he walked through the SpaceX employee parking lot, he noticed something unusual. Sitting alone near the far end of the lot was Elon Musk, a CEO still here after hours. Noah hesitated, about to turn back, when suddenly Elon looked up and their eyes met. "Noah, come sit." Noah froze for a second, but then walked over. A strange surge of courage filled him. "Mr. Musk," he started. I was thinking about quitting." Elon tilted his head slightly. "Why?" Noah stared at the ground. Because it's just too hard. There's too much pressure. I keep failing, and I don't want to fail here." Elon smirked. "Then you're in the wrong place, Noah." Noah's eyes widened. "The wrong place?" Elon exhaled and stared into the distance. "SpaceX can't exist without failure. We're trying to do the impossible, and you can't do that without making mistakes." Noah let that sink in. Maybe failure was part of the process, but he still had one question. "Have you ever thought about giving up?" Elon smiled, just a little. every single day. Noah blinked. That wasn't the answer he expected. Elon continued. The first 3 SpaceX rockets exploded. By the 4th launch, we were out of money. If that one failed, the company was done. So yeah, I thought about quitting, but instead of giving up, I found a way to make it work. Noah realized something. Did he really want to quit? Or was he just running from failure? Noah couldn't stop replaying Elon Musk's words in his head. Instead of giving up, I found a way to make it work. SpaceX was built on failure, but those failures were what led to its greatest successes. That night, Noah sat at his desk staring at his laptop. He had planned to type out his resignation letter, but his fingers never touched the keyboard. A voice inside him whispered, "Is it really right to quit without even trying again?" If he walked away now, he might never get another chance like this. And if he gave up because he was afraid of failure, he would carry that fear for the rest of his life. Elon Musk wasn't afraid to fail. So why was he? And just like that, Noah made his decision. The next morning, he walked into SpaceX with a completely different energy. When he gathered his team and said, "We're trying again," they all looked at him like he was crazy. "We failed yesterday, yes, but that was just another data point. If we take 3 months to fix this, we'll lose too much time. Instead, we're approaching this problem differently, and just like Elon said, we're launching again in 2 weeks. Some of the senior engineers immediately pushed back. "Noah, that's too risky. If we fail again," Noah shook his head before they could finish. "If we fail again, we'll just learn something new." This time, he wasn't running. This time, he was all in. Under Noah's leadership, the team worked non-stop for 2 weeks to redesign the new engine system. No sleep, no breaks, and no fear of failure. Every calculation was redone. They developed a brand new fuel regulation system to fix the pressure issue. It was risky, but they would never know unless they tried. Noah sat in the control center, staring at the monitor, his heart pounding. This will either be the beginning of everything or the end. The team started the countdown. 3, 2, 1, ignition. For a split second, nothing happened. Then, the rocket fired up. The engine roared to life. The burn was stable, and this time, it lasted past 30 seconds. Noah held his breath. The first test had failed in just 20 seconds, 40 seconds, 50 seconds, 1 minute. The team erupted into cheers. They had done it. The engine held up. The system worked. No explosion, no failure. Noah buried his face in his hands, taking a deep breath. They had finally won. But the biggest surprise? Standing at the door of the test room watching everything unfold was Elon Musk. And for the first time, Elon was smiling. The engine had worked. The SpaceX team erupted into cheers, celebrating their hard-earned victory. After months of failure, they had finally won. But Noah's mind was elsewhere. Standing by the door, Elon Musk was staring directly at him. Noah averted his gaze. Doubt still lingered in his mind. Was this just luck? Did we really succeed? Or was this only temporary? Just as those thoughts consumed him, Elon slowly walked over. With his usual calm demeanor, Elon patted Noah on the shoulder. "You surprise me, Noah," he said with a smirk. Noah blinked. "What do you mean?" Elon nodded. "They said it couldn't be done in 2 weeks, but you chose not to be afraid of failure. And that is what makes a true engineer." For the first time, Noah felt a sense of pride stir inside him. "So, it actually worked?" he asked hesitantly. Elon chuckled. "The first test passed, but your work is just getting started." Then Elon did something completely unexpected. He handed Noah an envelope. Noah's hand shook slightly as he opened it. Inside was an acceptance letter to SpaceX's Elite Engineering Development Program, a program reserved only for the top engineers, those who worked on the most ambitious projects. Noah couldn't believe his eyes. What does this mean?" he asked, still in shock. Elon narrowed his eyes and smirked. You prove something to me, Noah. As long as you don't fear failure, you have no limits. Then he extended his hand. So, do you want in? Noah glanced at the letter, then at Elon's outstretched hand. And for the first time, he lifted his head with true confidence. Yes, he said firmly, I'm ready.
If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, comment, and share. Subscribe for more inspiring stories.